Another week in another unnecessary and extremely tragic death of an African-American woman in police custody. Today's incident that we're going to discuss occurred in late July in Cleveland. Her name is Ralkina Jones. We're going to show you a video that was taken in the police station the night before her death. When we come back, we're going to explain some of what you're hearing in this video and what happened not more than a few hours after the video was taken.
I'm not asking any exception to any rules. Yeah. But what I will tell you is I don't want to die in your cell.
Now you have a seizure, you're taking medication, or what was going on with that?
I hadn't had my medication then. One. Yeah. Two, I have a brain injury. Yeah. My ex-husband put 4 holes in the wall. You could ask the detective at that time, was 5th District. Yeah. Then he has just recently, last July, hung me and went to jail for asphyxiation by a whole bunch of stuff. And he does the same thing every time. But all I be wanting is somebody to be honest with me the entire time, instead of a different shift come on and somebody else being mean to me because they don't. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand. I sympathize with you.
I don't know anything about it, and the one guy's yelling, and he's like, "Oh yeah, whatever." The next year yelling.
I addressed them about it.
That's disrespectful.
That won't happen
again. I'm trying to prevent I already had an anxiety attack. My main concern is my POTS syndrome, which is a tachycardia syndrome.
Okay. What's that? Layman's terms.
So what happens is when I go from a sitting or standing position, I faint. And I've tried to eat. I feel like I have enough to eat, but that's just one side of it. The other side is the concussions to my brain and my brain aneurysm. Let me take that to try to prevent the migraines, because once the migraine starts, I can't see.
So this is for your traumatic brain injury or whatever?
Yeah. Okay. All of it is actually.
I have a suggestion, but it's going to be up to the next lieutenant. We have she's going to be here all night in the sergeant. There's a female cell available. It's a big block. It has a phone that you can collect on. My only concern is with your health issues, it's easier to keep an eye on you here because it's harder for you to disappear.
So in that video, the officers seem respectful, right? And they're having a calm conversation about whether to give her the drugs or not. Here's the problem. They didn't, and she died. So that's why the movement is called Black Lives Matter. And you know, people get upset if you say all lives matter, and there's a whole debate about all this stuff too. In this context, that's important because what's actually happening is police, I know they deal with this stuff all the time, and sometimes they take it seriously and sometimes they don't. And is it possible that a lot of times they don't take it as seriously as if it's coming from a certain race? In some parts of the country, that's clearly true. And look at this, even within shifts, that's true or untrue, right? Because she's saying, hey, you guys are being respectful, but the other shift is dismissing me like I...
Or might dismiss.
Right, and she's obviously had issues with the other shift in the past based on what she's saying there, right? So, but the part where it affects all of us is that once you go in that prison, they don't view you as fully human anymore. And you know, and her sister later talked about she was a human. She was a human, right? And the thing is, you can't, if you're the officers, whether it's in the initial arrest or when you're holding someone in custody, you can't make life or death decisions on a whim like, nah. You know, people complain all the time, which I'm sure they do, right? So I won't give them their medication. That's not a choice you have. Because people do die. They die all the time. Jones was one of 5 women of color who died in police custody in just the last 2 weeks of July. Isn't that amazing?
And that's died while in the custody, not while being arrested and all of that. We know that those numbers are obviously much larger.
And so I don't want you to get me wrong. I'm not saying that all the women who died in custody in that 2-week period of time were killed or, you know, were because of gross negligence, etc. But what I am saying is the minute you step in that cell, no matter who you are, but maybe I think that there's a good point to make that even more so if you're a person of color, that they'd stop treating you as fully human. And that's what's leading to all these people dying inside prison because they're like, God, they live, they die. I give them their medication, I don't give them their medication. I just don't care that much.
Yeah.
That's the heart of the problem.
Yeah, and look, we don't, with the officers who are on the video, we don't know. She's saying that they're being polite and helpful. They look like they're being polite and helpful, attentive. He's coming up with different ideas, and he's considering the consequences for going to one cell versus another. But once they switch the shifts, we have no idea how much of that information was passed on to the next shift. If it was passed on in a way that made clear that, look, this isn't just like a suggestion. This isn't my opinion. She is worried that she will die because of her medical conditions if she's not given access to this medication. And in some of these cases, in a lot of the cases that we report on, it's early on, so we don't have a lot of details about exactly what happened. But in this case, we do know fairly clearly what happened with the video and what happened afterward. I'm going to jump ahead to graphic 12 here. But we see that hours after the video was taken, Jones was assessed by a medical professional because she seemed lethargic. This is just a couple of hours after having that conversation. She was discharged and returned to her cell, not discharged from the entire place, put back into her cell at 10:40, and by the next morning, she was already dead. So she told them she was concerned about dying in the cell. She was medically assessed later for not seeming right, and still, she was dead by the next day. And when you watch that video, did she seem like a person who was on the brink of death that would have died no matter what, no matter where she was? She seemed like a lucid person who understood her medical concerns and the medication that would have treated them. But once she puts in, as Cenk was saying, she no longer has total freedom as a human to take care of her medical needs. She needs to give it to someone else who obviously does not see them as being as important as she does.
Okay, so let's break it down in a couple more ways. So first of all, the concern with giving her the drugs is, what if she's smuggling in drugs? To which I say, whoop-de-frickin-do, okay? Now, I know that's a real concern for them, right? But let's weigh the two scenarios here. One is she's not lying about her serious medical conditions that affect both her brain and her heart, and she might die in your jail cell, right?
Yeah.
As she's saying, literally, I might die in your jail cell, right?
Yeah.
Or in a worst case scenario, she's lying about the whole thing and the drugs are actually not what they say they are, and she's going to get a little high. Okay, so the downside of her getting a little high is not that bad.
Yeah.
The downside of her dying in the cell is really, really bad,
Yeah.
right? So their priorities are all wrong because it's a police state. And in a police state, I can't have anybody breaking the rules by even this much. When they die, I don't really care about that.
Yeah.
As long as they don't disrespect me and they don't violate my code and my rules by even a scintilla. Okay?
Yeah, well, I mean, look, last Friday we talked about the kid Zachary who was shot and killed by police because they thought that he had marijuana, and apparently he did have marijuana, or whatever. Again, the upside and the downside. Somebody smokes the marijuana, oh no. Oh, dear God, no, don't let that happen. On the other hand, you continue with your war on drugs, and sometimes you gun down teenagers because of drugs. And that seems worse. I don't care how many people get high that day around the country. Shooting and killing the teenager, that is worse to me.
And the perverse logic is we have to have a war on drugs so we can protect that teenager's health. Well, you didn't protect it very well when you shot him to death,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so now back to Jones. Now you tell me again, no matter where you are on the political spectrum or how you view society, do you think those cops give the drugs to that woman if it is their wife? Their wife comes to them and says, I got a concussion issues, I've got heart issues, and I might die tonight. Do you think they get her the drugs? You know they do. No matter who you are, you know they get them.
Or if she was rich and well-connected in the community.
Or it's the judge's wife, okay? You know all those people get the drugs, right?
Yeah.
And you know that if you're poor and you're powerless, you very likely don't get the drugs and you have some chance of dying.
Yeah.
And if you add on top of that assumptions about race that unfortunately pervade our society, well, you're even less likely to get the drugs, right? And that's why they call it Black Lives Matter. Because so often they think, well, it's not my wife, it's not the judge's wife. And what if she breaks my rules and I get in a little bit of trouble? Well, her life doesn't matter to me that much.
Yeah.
So I'd rather she didn't get the drugs for fear that I might get in 1% trouble, right? And that's exactly why the movement is actually called the exact right thing. Because you've got to convey to people, her life matters. It matters. It didn't matter to them, and that's why she passed away in that jail cell.